Power is not loud. Power is quiet, steady, and unseen. In Stoicism, strength does not come from what you show the world, but from what you keep under control. Many people lose power not because they are weak, but because they speak too much. There are things that should remain private. When you reveal them, you give others influence over your mind. Today, we reflect on 5 things a Stoic learns to keep to himself. Silence protects power because power grows best when it is not exposed. When everything inside you is spoken out loud, it becomes weak. Words remove weight from thoughts. Once something leaves your mouth, it no longer belongs only to you. It becomes something others can touch, judge, twist, or use. A Stoic understands that silence is not emptiness. Silence is control. Most people believe power comes from being heard. They rush to speak, explain, defend, and announce. They think silence makes them invisible. In truth, silence makes them solid. When you do not rush to speak, you observe more. You see how people act, not what they claim. You learn their motives, their fears, their limits. While others talk, you gather strength. Silence gives you time. Time to think clearly. Time to choose the right response instead of reacting from emotion. When you speak less, your words become stronger. People listen more closely because you are not always talking. Your voice carries weight because it is rare. A Stoic values this weight more than attention. When you stay silent, you also stay flexible. If you announce every thought, you lock yourself into it. People expect you to follow through, even when the path is wrong. Silence allows you to change direction without explanation. It allows growth without apology. Power is freedom, and silence protects that freedom. Silence also shields your emotions. When anger, fear, or pride speak for you, they expose you. Others learn what controls you. A Stoic keeps emotions inside long enough to understand them. Not to suppress them, but to master them. Silence gives space between feeling and action. In that space, power lives. There is also power in not defending yourself. When you rush to explain or justify, you hand control to others. You show that their opinions move you. A Stoic knows that truth does not need constant defense. Character is proven over time, not in arguments. Silence lets actions answer what words never could. Silence protects you from unnecessary conflict. Many battles exist only because words create them. Insults grow when they are answered. Ego grows when it is fed. A Stoic does not chase every challenge. He chooses what deserves his energy. Silence becomes a filter, keeping distractions out and focus intact. In silence, discipline is built. You learn to sit with discomfort without needing to release it through speech. This builds inner strength. If you can hold your tongue, you can hold your ground. If you can stay quiet under pressure, you can stay steady in chaos. This kind of power cannot be taken, because it is not given. Silence also protects your progress. When you speak about what you are building, you satisfy part of the desire without doing the work. The mind feels rewarded too early. A Stoic avoids this trap. He lets effort remain effort until it becomes reality. Silence keeps hunger alive. Hunger fuels discipline. When others underestimate you because you are quiet, they give you advantage. They reveal themselves. They relax. They make mistakes. Silence becomes a mirror that reflects others clearly. The Stoic watches without judgment, learning what is useful and ignoring what is not. Silence is not fear, it is choice. It is knowing that not every thought needs a voice, not every feeling needs an audience, and not every moment needs noise. Power grows where restraint lives, where calm replaces urgency, where control replaces impulse, where the mind learns to remain still while the world moves around it, where strength becomes internal and unshaken by external noise. Speaking less and acting more is the discipline of a focused mind. Words are easy. Action is demanding. Many people talk because talking feels like progress. It gives the comfort of movement without effort. A Stoic does not confuse noise with results. He understands that action is the only proof of intention. When you speak too much about what you will do, you weaken the desire to do it. The mind releases satisfaction early. The work feels partially complete even though nothing has been built. This leads to delay, distraction, and eventually failure. Acting in silence keeps the drive alive. Effort remains sharp because it has not been softened by praise or attention. Speaking less also reduces mistakes. Words can trap you. Once spoken, they cannot be taken back. You may commit to paths that no longer serve you. You may promise outcomes you cannot control. A Stoic avoids this by letting actions reveal direction. Action can be adjusted. Words are fixed. When you focus on action, you become grounded in reality. Reality does not care about explanations. It responds only to effort, consistency, and discipline. Talking often exists in imagination. Acting forces you to confront limits, resistance, and truth. A Stoic values truth more than comfort, so he chooses action over speech. Acting more also builds self-respect. Each completed effort strengthens trust in yourself. You learn that you can rely on your own discipline instead of motivation. Speaking often seeks validation from others. Acting seeks mastery over yourself. The Stoic aims for inner approval, not external applause. When others see consistent action without constant explanation, respect grows naturally. You do not need to announce strength. Strength becomes visible through behavior. People learn what you stand for by watching how you move, not by listening to what you claim. Silence removes doubt. Action removes debate. Speaking less protects focus. Every conversation pulls attention outward. Every explanation drains energy. When you reduce speech, you conserve mental strength. That strength is then directed into work, training, learning, and improvement. The Stoic treats attention as a limited resource and spends it carefully. Action also teaches humility. When you stop talking, you stop pretending to know more than you do. You let results teach you. Failure becomes feedback instead of embarrassment. Success becomes quiet confidence instead of pride. This balance keeps the mind steady. Many conflicts exist only because words create them. Opinions clash, ego reacts, arguments grow. Action bypasses this noise. You do not need to convince anyone when your work speaks clearly. A Stoic chooses progress over being right. Speaking less also sharpens listening. When you are not preparing your next sentence, you hear more. You notice patterns. You understand people better. This awareness strengthens decision-making. Action guided by understanding is far more effective than action driven by impulse. Acting more builds patience. Results take time. Silence teaches you to wait without complaint. You learn to endure slow progress without announcing frustration. This endurance becomes strength. The Stoic accepts that meaningful things grow quietly. When life becomes difficult, those who only speak feel exposed. Those who act feel prepared. Habits protect you when motivation fails. Discipline carries you when emotions fluctuate. Speaking less and acting more builds these habits over time. This way of living removes the need to prove yourself. You no longer chase recognition. You move with purpose, guided by values instead of reactions. Action becomes your language. Consistency becomes your reputation. The Stoic does not need to explain who he is, because his life already shows it. Keeping plans private is an act of self-control. When plans remain inside you, they stay strong and flexible. The moment they are spoken, they are exposed to outside forces. Opinions enter, doubt follows. A Stoic understands that not every mind deserves access to his direction. When you share plans too early, you invite judgment before results exist. Some will discourage you, not because your plan is bad, but because it threatens their comfort. Others will praise you without understanding, and that praise can weaken discipline. Both reactions distract you from the work itself. Plans need silence to grow. Like seeds, they require darkness before they can break the surface. Speaking too soon is like digging them up to check progress. You interrupt the process. You turn attention outward instead of inward. A Stoic protects the early stages of effort. Keeping plans private also protects motivation. When you announce goals, the mind feels a sense of completion. It mistakes recognition for achievement. This reduces urgency. Silence keeps the hunger intact. The desire to act stays sharp because nothing has been satisfied yet. Silence allows adjustment. As you move forward, reality will challenge your assumptions. You will learn new information. You may need to change direction. If your plan is public, pride makes this difficult. You feel forced to continue even when the path is wrong. Private plans allow wisdom to replace ego. Not everyone who hears your plans wants you to succeed. Some feel threatened. Some enjoy doubt more than effort. Some will smile while hoping you fail. A Stoic is not paranoid, but he is aware. He understands human nature and chooses discretion over exposure. Keeping plans private also builds inner authority. You stop seeking approval before action. You rely on your own judgment. This strengthens confidence rooted in discipline. rather than opinion. The Stoic learns to trust reason, not applause. Plans spoken too often become entertainment. Conversations replace commitment. Energy is spent explaining instead of building. Silence redirects that energy back into action. Progress accelerates when words decrease. Privacy also sharpens focus. When no one is watching, you work without pressure. You make mistakes freely. You learn without fear of embarrassment. This creates real growth. A Stoic values improvement over appearance. When success arrives quietly, it carries more weight. There is no need to explain how you got there. Results speak clearly. Those who doubted fall silent. Those who supported understand. Silence turns effort into surprise, and surprise strengthens impact. Keeping plans private reduces stress. Expectations from others create tension. Questions demand answers. Opinions create noise. Silence removes these burdens. The mind stays calm, directed only by what is within control. The Stoic knows that the future is uncertain. Plans are intentions, not promises. Speaking them as facts invites disappointment. Keeping them private respects uncertainty. It allows patience. Silence also teaches humility. You accept that not everything needs to be shared. You learn to move without announcing. This removes ego from the process. Work becomes simple. Do what needs to be done. Privacy does not mean isolation. It means choosing carefully who deserves insight. Trusted mentors may offer guidance, but the crowd does not need access. A Stoic values quality of counsel over quantity of voices. When you stop announcing plans, life becomes quieter and more effective. Action replaces talk. Progress replaces opinion. Discipline replaces excitement. You move steadily, unseen, undisturbed, protected by silence, guided by reason, focused on what you can control. Letting time reveal what words never should. Enduring pain quietly does not mean denying pain or pretending it does not exist. Pain is part of being human. A Stoic does not fight this truth. He accepts pain as a natural event, something that comes and goes like weather. What matters is not the pain itself, but how the mind responds to it. When pain is spoken aloud to everyone, it often grows heavier. Words repeat the suffering. Attention feeds it. The mind circles around it and gives it more space than it deserves. Silence limits this. It keeps pain contained, so it does not spread into identity. Complaining feels relieving for a moment, but it weakens endurance over time. Each complaint trains the mind to focus on discomfort instead of strength. A Stoic trains in the opposite direction. He observes pain without judgment. He allows it to exist without letting it control his behavior. Enduring pain quietly builds resilience. When you face discomfort without announcing it, you learn that you can survive it. This creates confidence rooted in experience, not hope. You stop fearing pain because you have proven to yourself that it cannot break you. There is also dignity in quiet endurance. Pain does not need an audience. Not everyone who hears your suffering will respond with care. Some will offer empty words. Some will lose respect. Some will remember your weakness longer than your recovery. A Stoic protects himself from this by choosing discretion. Silence also prevents pain from becoming a tool for others. When people know exactly where you hurt, they may use it against you, intentionally or not. The Stoic understands that vulnerability should be shared only with those who have earned trust. Quiet endurance sharpens the mind. Instead of reacting emotionally, you begin to analyze what is within your control. Can this pain be reduced? Can it be endured? Can it teach something? This reasoning turns suffering into training. Pain often comes with fear of being seen as weak. Speaking about it can sometimes be a search for reassurance. The Stoic seeks reassurance internally. He reminds himself that worth is not measured by comfort. Strength is not proven by ease. Enduring pain quietly does not mean suffering alone forever. It means choosing the right moment and the right person. Wisdom knows the difference between seeking guidance and seeking sympathy. One builds strength. The other often delays it. When you stop announcing pain, you conserve energy. Complaints drain strength. Silence redirects it toward healing and adaptation. The body and mind work better when not burdened by constant emotional release. Quiet endurance also teaches patience. Pain often cannot be rushed away. Accepting this reduces frustration. The Stoic waits without resentment. He understands that resistance adds weight, while acceptance lightens it. Through silent endurance, pain loses its power to define you. It becomes an experience, not a label. You are not your suffering. You are the one observing it. This separation gives freedom. Others may never know the battles you fight. That is fine. Strength does not require witnesses. The Stoic finds pride in self-mastery, not recognition. When pain passes, as it often does, there is no need to explain survival. You simply continue. This quiet return to action shows true resilience. Enduring pain quietly builds a calm presence. You become steady under pressure. Others sense it without being told. This presence influences more than words ever could. In silence, pain is processed, not performed. The mind stays clear. The spirit remains intact. Control is preserved. Growth happens internally, slowly, deeply, forming a strength that does not need to announce itself, a resilience that stands firm without sound, shaped by acceptance, discipline, and reason. Fixing weaknesses in silence is an act of discipline and humility. Everyone has weaknesses. A Stoic does not deny this. He also does not advertise them. Weakness is not something to be hidden out of shame, but something to be handled with focus and intention. When weaknesses are spoken openly without purpose, they often become excuses. The mind begins to protect them instead of correcting them. By saying them out loud again and again, you turn them into identity. Silence prevents this. It keeps weakness as a problem to solve, not a story to tell. Working on weakness privately allows honest effort. There is no pressure to appear improved before improvement exists. There is no need to perform progress for others. You are free to fail, adjust, and try again. This freedom is essential for real growth. Silence also removes comparison. When you speak about weakness, others measure it against their own or use it to define you. This shifts focus away from self-mastery. A Stoic competes only with his previous self. Privacy keeps attention where it belongs. Fixing weakness requires patience. Progress is often slow and uneven. Publicly declaring change creates expectations. When results do not appear quickly, discouragement follows. Silence removes this burden. You move at the pace of discipline, not approval. There is also strength in choosing who knows your struggles. Not everyone needs access to your unfinished work. Advice from the wrong source confuses more than it helps. A Stoic seeks guidance carefully, not loudly. He values quality over quantity. Silence keeps pride in check. Speaking too much about weakness can sometimes be another form of ego, a way to appear honest or deep. True humility is quiet work. Improvement done without recognition builds character, not image. When you fix weaknesses privately, confidence grows naturally. It is not forced. It comes from knowing you are doing the work, even when no one is watching. This confidence is stable because it is based on effort, not praise. Weakness spoken too early can become permanent in the eyes of others. Even after you change, some will remember the old version of you. Silence allows transformation without resistance. You change first, then let the world notice later. Fixing weakness requires focus, and focus requires calm. Conversations about flaws often stir emotion, shame, or defensiveness. Silence keeps the mind steady. A steady mind learns faster and acts better. Privacy also protects you from doubt planted by others. Some will tell you that change is impossible. Some will project their limits onto you. Silence blocks these voices. You work with reason instead of noise. A Stoic understands that weakness is not failure. It is information. It shows where effort must be applied. Treating weakness quietly turns it into a guide rather than a burden. When discipline replaces discussion, results appear. Habits shift. Behavior changes. Strength grows. And when improvement becomes visible, no explanation is needed. Fixing weaknesses in silence teaches responsibility. You stop blaming circumstances or people. You take ownership. This ownership builds inner authority. There is also peace in private effort. No defending, no explaining, no proving. Just work, just progress, just patience. The Stoic values becoming over being seen. He understands that the loudest improvement is often the weakest. Real change happens slowly, quietly, through repetition and restraint. Silence keeps weakness from becoming identity. Work turns it into strength. Time reveals the difference. The mind stays focused on what can be controlled. Effort continues without distraction. Growth becomes inevitable.